What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Game Time Live, a little late night edition. Game Time Live, Daryl, you might as well switch the brand, and it's a Game Time Live After Hours episode tonight. At this rate, 9:30. Now we've done these type of episodes before. I mean, we went live after the finals, so yeah. We've done a couple late night shows. It's good to be here. We're gonna be a little more tame tonight, maybe, since it's late. But it's gonna be a good show. As you guys can maybe see my camera, I mean, I look like
look I'm on at that camera, man. You look so pretty, man. Ooh, Lord have mercy.
I look like I'm on
when you get the sponsors, man, to take care of business, man.
I look like I'm on an HD TV, but no, nice little Christmas present. You know, I wish it was here for yesterday's show, but it actually came to the doorstep right after the show ended. So tried it out, and you look pretty good, man. Nice little 4K camera. So we're going to get into it today. Should be a good one. We're going to talk mainly about the NFL, maybe a little bit of NBA as well, since, you know, that's starting to, we're starting to talk about the NBA a little bit more. So Daryl, I'm going to let you start us off. Where do you want to go first?
Well, first of all, man, it's good to be back here doing our thing, doing what we really starting to get used to and starting to love a little bit. Appreciate the opportunity, man. We got viewers reaching out, messaging and stuff like that. Really appreciate that love. Just keep it coming. You know, we're trying to do everything we can to provide a regular guys having a conversation about things that are important to people, sports, fun, and having some smiles, man. So for me, I wouldn't mind going the direction. I wouldn't mind going. Let's talk NFL. Yesterday was a big day. Yesterday was the Super Bowl for fantasy football. Obviously, the last game is tonight, but there are some compelling, games, compelling results last night and yesterday that I think they're important to talk about. The first thing I want to start off with is the young man, Mr. Shedeur Sanders. He went out and played yesterday. He balled. He didn't embarrass himself again. He's a rookie quarterback who was a 5th-round pick, and he's out there playing, man. What I like about Shedeur Sanders is this. They won the game, great. But every time since he's been drafted, he's been with the Cleveland Browns, when the media tries to bait him into saying something disingenuous, disrespectful, I like the fact that he stops him and says, wait a minute, that's disrespectful. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to throw my coach under the bus. When they talked about the 4th down, were you okay with that? You remember how people were going off about how they took Shedeur out when they did the Wildcat thing, right? At the end of the game, I think three games ago. He had the same content of conversation that when his first game he started to this game. I like it. Yes, he put a lot of people in a negative towards him in the beginning, right? Doing the wrist thing and all those wonderful things. I know I talked about it yesterday, but I don't care because you got to give that young man credit. You don't have to like him, you don't have to love him or anything. But what he's done as a 5th-round draft pick, disposing Dylan Gabriel and forcing his coach to play him. Granted, it's Cleveland. It's probably the worst franchise in the NFL. Maybe them, the Colts, the Raiders, all in that dynamic. But this guy has continued to play, and he's matured. I'm not talking numbers. I'm talking about his maturity, his emotional maturity, and the fact that he is showing the ability beyond just, I'm just here because I'm Deion's son. So kudos to young Mr. Sanders. Nothing but love for him. I'm not a Shedeur Sanders apologist. I'm right down the middle, but you got to call it like it is. The young man has played ball, and again, I'm gonna say it for the 17,362nd time. He's going to be a better pro at the end of his career than Mr. Ward will be, who was the first player picked. So hey, man, that's where I want to start.
I'm gonna let you stand on that one. I think Shedeur's
standing on it.
I think Shedeur's played well. I'm not gonna sit here and give. I think Shedeur's played well. I think Cam Ward has been okay. I think they both have looked good. I give Cam Ward a lot of credit at the start of the year, Daryl. I was very open about it, and I said I don't think he's been bad. There was like this 3-week stretch where he couldn't get his.
The camera went good, and then all of a sudden he's got no sound now. You did you mute yourself? I think you muted yourself or something.
Should be good now. No?
Yeah, give me some lift though. You sound like you're in the background.
There we go. Got it.
Hey man, listen, you can't have a great camera like that and sound like garbage. What the hell's wrong with you?
Better? Good?
Now that's better.
There we go.
Great camera, garbage sound. Man, you can't have both?
Hey, I'm glad it's the intro to the show. We're all good. But like I said, I mean, Cam Ward had this like 3-week stretch, right, where he couldn't seem to get himself in the end zone, couldn't get the team in the end zone, but they were still getting points. I think the Titans are in a good spot with where Cam Ward's at. And you look at the draft, which I'm going to pull up now because, I love looking at the draft standings. Props to the Raiders for doing one of the best tank jobs I've ever seen in yesterday's game against the Giants.
Ashton Jeanty was supposed to give me at least 20 points yesterday. I don't want to hear it.
I
digress.
I like the spot Tennessee's in. I think for a lot of these teams, Tennessee, Cleveland, you got to get a receiver at the top of the round. Obviously, there's other issues that these teams can go at. I do not know what the receiver class looks like specifically for this year, but I think, when you're Cleveland and specifically Tennessee, I'd have to watch some more Tennessee film to see where their main issues lie, because obviously maybe O-line's one of those issues, but get some weapons around Cam Ward is probably your next solution. Obviously it's Tennessee, right? They could probably fix anything they want because the roster needs it, but Cam Ward didn't look that bad. And as for the Browns, you've got concepts of a roster. That's the best way I'll put that. You've got Garrett, you got some other pieces. It's a matter of where do you want to go now? They didn't take Travis Hunter this year. They went in a different route, last year, I should say. And I think Travis Hunter would have been good for them, but they chose not to go that route. That's okay. What do you do when you get to the draft this year? Do you trade up? Do you maybe trade down again, which I don't think is a bad option either? We'll see what happens with Cleveland. But for the Raiders, absolute props to them. I like what the Raiders are doing. They're putting themselves in control of their own destiny, being at the top of the draft. Make these teams that need a quarterback work for it, right? I think
they're one of them too. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
They can't slide by this.
The only reason I say that is I don't think Vegas. There's always that team where we think, they need a quarterback. They need a quarterback. They need a quarterback. By the way, Bijan just got a 93-yard run or house call.
Didn't I just say I don't want to hear that, man?
Anyways, for the Raiders, we always talk about in the draft, right? There's always these teams that we think want a quarterback, or obviously they need one, or we think they want one. I think Vegas is one of those teams where it's like, we can do another year without Geno or with Geno and build the roster until we're ready for a quarterback. Because in my opinion, I think a lot of teams should do that more. But everyone, like you've said in one of our previous episodes, everyone feels like you have to start with quarterback. I would like to see the Raiders not take that approach, because I know that the Raiders will probably just play that guy week 1, which I don't think is the right move. They could possibly waive Geno Smith, but I just don't see that happening after the money they gave him last offseason. I could be completely wrong. But both Vegas and New York are in a situation where maybe they draft a quarterback, maybe they won't. But the team at number 3 in the New York Jets, they are itching to get their hands on Mendoza or Dante Moore. And if I'm the Jets, please don't fire Aaron Glenn at the end of the year. Please don't.
There's no way they fire Aaron Glenn.
I'm hearing things, and I'm just like, man, if they fire him.
Listen, close your ears, because the guy just got there and he inherited a horrible team. They traded their best 2 players for first round picks. They're not great. Get rid of Aaron Glenn. If they do, they'll just solidify they're one of the top worst 5 franchises in football. But I don't even think they can do that.
If I'm New York, I don't know how much they love Mendoza, because Mendoza's been projected to go number 1. If I can get Dante Moore, who I think out of the 3 quarterbacks that are supposed to go first round, I think he's the one with the best potential. If I can get Dante Moore, I'm fine with Dante Moore over Mendoza, because I really don't think – I think Ty Simpson is worse than both of those 2. But I think Mendoza or Moore, you're just getting two different style of quarterbacks. Not to say one is necessarily better than the other, because I don't think Mendoza is that much better than Dante Moore, to be quite frank with you. So either way, I think the Jets are going to win because they get
it's a tough call, man, because the Jets, they've got a lot of holes, right? Their running backs, their situation is in peril. They've got one good receiver. Clearly, they don't have a quarterback. They gave up. Remember, they gave up Sauce and my man Quentin for 2 first-round picks this year. So they're going to have 3 number ones this year. So they can parlay some things. It's not like, well, we've just got a first, a second, a third, and a fourth. They've got 3 firsts, and that's this year. So I think if the Jets have a strong general manager with an eye on the future and on the present, they can really fill a lot of holes. I would even look at taking one of those number ones, depending on where you are, and maybe trading down with that and getting you maybe a couple of seconds or a couple of thirds. They need depth of play, and that's where the challenge is for them.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through Twitter, looking at stuff, just in case we need a talking point. Jokic went down holding his knee.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
I'm hoping he's all right. I didn't even know that was going on. I was watching the game downstairs, which isn't really close.
But to the point, we talk about offensive line. I know I talked to you about it on Sunday. Man, Vegas needs probably 3 offensive line. We talk about quarterback, we talk about receiver. They need a game-breaking receiver. Offensive line, they're going to need a quarterback. You got a good young stud at running back, but your defense is getting old. Max Crosby just went under the knife, is going under the knife. Yeah, man, the Raiders, they've got a lot of holes. And I don't know that any of the quarterbacks in this year's draft are worth the capital of making a top 5 pick. Could be. Hell, I could be wrong. I've been wrong about many of things before, but I just don't know that that's an opportunity for them, because with all the holes they've got, these teams, the Raiders, the Jets, Tennessee, all 3 of those teams, maybe it'd be best for them to trade down and someone in that middle of the pack come up and say, I want Mendoza. I want, Ty Simpson or whomever, right? And you can really, parlay that. I keep saying parlay because I got this. My hand is itching, man. I really need to get some bets in for this weekend. I keep saying parlay, but man, this damn hand is itching. But to that point, we just don't know what it's going to be, because that general manager and his staff may be saying none of these guys are worth the first round grade.
Yeah,
and the best team in the best position, I'll leave it at this, is the Jets.
I agree. I do agree. I wouldn't disagree with you there. I think the Jets are in a good spot. I think the Raiders are in a good spot. I think a lot of these teams that are at the top of the draft board are not necessarily in bad positions right now, as it seems. I think a lot of these teams, even look at Kansas City and Cincinnati, right? These are 2 teams that we thought as Super Bowl contenders. Now they're going to get somebody that can come in and play for them.
Top 10 pick. Both teams need somebody on their either offensive line or defensive line, right? Because they've got quarterback. They've got, Cincinnati's got good receivers, right? They've got good skill players. Not great on the Kansas City side, but good. O-line.
Yeah. I love the draft. Like you know me, I'm a draft. This is what I live for when it comes to sports, because it's always cool to see a team that builds through the draft. As much as I give Oklahoma City so much crap, I love how they rebuilt their team and how they did it. Because I'm a sucker for the NBA draft the same way. I'm excited to see where DeBonta and all these other guys end up. I'm right here in the NFL, because we talk about this quarterback class right now, and we say, well, Mendoza's not much of an NFL quarterback. And Dante Moore, I've said it on the show, he reminds me of the Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud types, right? He's got the same sort of play style. He can run, he can throw on the run. It's that quarterback type where it's like a lot of these guys in recent years have succeeded in their first year and beyond. He kind of has that same archetype, that same build. So I'm very curious to see how well will Dante Moore do in the league. I'm not saying he'll have a stellar first year.
Can you get him in the third round? Can you get him in the third round?
And truly, I don't know. But
that's the poker game you got to play.
To me, no. New York's going to take Mendoza or Moore, and I think somebody will take Moore before the third round. I'm not saying he stays in the first round, but there's no way Moore slips to the third round. I think Ty Simpson could slip because you've watched him more than I do, but off the stuff I've watched him, there, you know how we talk about there's nothing for me that stands off on Mendoza other than his accuracy. There's nothing with Simpson that truly makes me think, yeah, that's an NFL quarterback.
His court awareness is I'm thinking basketball.
It's feel IQ, whatever. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
No, because Ty Simpson, he's going to take a sack on his front side as if he didn't see him coming. The last 3 games he's played, Auburn, Georgia, and Oklahoma, he's taken sacks from his right side, not from his blind side, which is his left. Yeah, his right side, and I just don't think his field awareness is where it needs to be. Right? Mm-hmm. I just don't think. They talk about the feel. Remember how they talked about Dan? Well, you don't know, but Dan Marino, right? The guy couldn't get. He couldn't move 2 feet either way, but he had a pocket awareness where he would take a step here, a step here, a step forward, and he would avoid a sack. And Dan Marino is one of the slowest quarterbacks. I'll bet you Dan Marino didn't run for over 300 yards in his career.
Yeah,
in his career.
That makes sense for back in the day, I guess. Yeah.
and what I'm saying, because he had field presence and he understood where he was in the pocket, right? Listen, I'm a Bama guy through and through, but man, if you heat up Ty Simpson, that's going to be a struggle, man. It's going to be a struggle. So I don't know. I think he's a guy that could probably go in the second or third round as well. I just do.
We've talked about this a lot, as we get closer and closer for all 3 quarterbacks, right? Mendoza, Simpson, and Moore. What is their best fit? When you look at the board and you look at these teams, who would you say best fits these organizations? Because obviously, as much as we think New York's in a great spot, New York can't develop a quarterback to save their life, right? So obviously, I don't really want to see any of them go to New York because I know New York will probably ruin it.
Mendoza, Arizona. I'm looking at the list here. You've got Jacoby Brissett there, who's not getting ready to retire. And over the last 7 weeks, Jacoby Brissett has been a top 10 quarterback. Okay?
Yeah.
Period. Say what you want. Oh, well, top 10 quarterback. They've got a tight end, they got a running game, and they've got a good offensive line, and also they got good receivers, right?
Yeah.
I think Marvin Harrison has had some issues the last year and a half, but I think, off season of getting his body right, I think he has an opportunity to maybe reach some of that potential that was talked about when he was in Ohio State. Mm-hmm. So for me, Mendoza, as I'm looking at this list here, and I'm just kind of picking through Mendoza, Arizona, because those obviously Vegas, nope. You don't want to sit behind Geno and that garbage truck that they got with, your coach having 2 of his sons that are assistants, but he fires Chip Kelly. Then you got Tennessee, they're not going to get a quarterback. Then you got Arizona, Cleveland, and you know what? I don't think Cleveland's going to look at a quarterback.
No, Cleveland.
I absolutely believe that they think that Shedeur can be the guy. Surround him. Then you got Jaden Daniels in Washington. Then you got New Orleans. They like
Tyler Shuck.
Second round pick Tyler Shuck. They're starting to love him. Kansas City's not going to get a quarterback. Cincinnati's not. Atlanta at 11. That's going to the Rams. Maybe your quarterback is at 11 at the Rams. Maybe that's your boy Dante or Ty Simpson as a project, because say for instance Stafford comes back for another year. You want a guy to sit. Miami may have a need. Tampa Bay may have a need. Dallas, so I think it starts with Arizona. I think if Arizona can lose this week and slide in that 3 or 4 spot, they'll be in a really good position. Really good position, right? They can not because they would take a quarterback with the 3rd or 4th or 5th pick, but they can wait, on a guy like a Ty Simpson, a guy who's maybe a second or third round grade, because I think that'll be their opportunity. Because I think Jacoby Brissett, he's probably got 2 good years. I mean, really good years. So you got time to have someone play behind him. He's a smart dude. He's a professional, and he's never embarrassed himself. He was here in Indiana. Obviously, he was in New England. The guy's never embarrassed himself. That's what you want as a quarterback.
So I'm pulling this up. I want to pull up who are the other quarterbacks. Obviously, we'll know more of these guys once things become a little bit more clear and people actually announce. Like Lenore Sellers won't be in the draft, right? He already said he's coming back. All right, get this off. Get out. Get off the screen. You're not a sponsor. All right. Anyways, back to what we were doing. Looking at these quarterbacks, right? You've got Mendoza, Moore, Simpson. Those are the top 3, right? Those are first round quarterbacks, maybe second round. After that, you've got Carson Beck, Klubnik. We're not even going to talk about Nussmeier, Taylor Green, and watch. And to be fair, everybody under Simpson hasn't declared. Really, Simpson hasn't. None of these guys have declared. A lot of these guys are maybe seniors, and some of these guys
we're contemplating. We're contemplating.
Yeah. So obviously, I think for me, when you look at this list, Daryl, the guy that I think that probably should be talked about more, I don't know what his grade year is John Mateer. I don't think Mateer's played bad. Now, is he pro ready? I want to know what year he is. If he's a junior, I think he should stay, because you wait another year. I like Mateer this year.
He's got some good legs on him, but and seeing him play, he looked conflicted in that Bama game. He looked conflicted the whole game. Yeah, they jumped off to a 17-point lead, but that was because of the scheme allowed them some trickeration in that first quarter and a half. Yeah, you can keep Mateer, you can keep Aller, you can keep Chambliss, Aguiar, Morton, Brown, and Dan. You can keep them all. Well, the guy I like out of this, who's a project, but who I think who has a really opportunity to be really good if he goes in the right place, Taylor Green.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to bring him up.
Yeah, man. I like Taylor Green a lot. I wish I had my boy Dollar DP on, man, so he could talk a little bit about him. Taylor Green, man, and all the adversity he had in Arkansas, all he did was went out there and balled out, man. I like a guy like that who doesn't embarrass himself, who doesn't disrespect his opponents, and goes out there and plays. Nothing wrong with having confidence, but you don't have to try and show people up and talk about what you are and what you are not. So out of that deal, like a team like Arizona, maybe a guy like Taylor Green may be a guy, because I forgot about him till we got the list up. Maybe something like that, right? I'm not saying he's the next Dan Marino. I think he's got a hell of a lot of talent. And again, he hasn't declared. So all these are this is speculation, and I get that.
I think with Arizona, I'm curious what direction they'll go in, right? Because Murray was more mobile, if anything. I think when you're Arizona, obviously Kyler was not the tallest, right? So obviously they'll probably look in a direction with a taller name, and also someone that has good arm strength. So, maybe not even arm strength, but just arm accuracy and everything else. So I like what you said about Mendoza, but Arizona is going to have to clearly get up the board if they want to get to him. I think some other names that obviously stick out to me, right, was Nussmeier earlier on in the year, and that was really before we knew about Mendoza and all these other guys, right? It was tough, man. I remember at the very start of the year, before any football had tipped off, and I kept this in mind for when we got to this point. Todd McShay is someone I watch a lot. It's especially draft, when we get around draft time, McShay's that's when he really all the guys, everybody knows the names. And McShay at the start of the year had Klubnik in the first round. And obviously this was so early in the year, you never really know. But he said, he had Klubnik at the very top of the board. I don't even think he had Mendoza anywhere.
No, Mendoza, Dante Moore, nor Ty Simpson were in the conversation.
Dante was floating in his second or third round, if I can remember right.
Yeah, but now you're talking about a guy who's your second.
Exactly. And keep in mind, he had Klubnik at number 1 out of the whole big board.
We also had Simpson at the top 3 in the preseason rankings as well.
That's true. Yep. See,
here's my challenge with this, right? These talking heads, when they put themselves out there, they've got to stand on that. They can't go back and flip. They may, and
Well,
these guys, they've got to keep saying the same thing,
well,
because then all of a sudden they lose credibility.
well,
I'm just saying they do. They have to keep saying that.
well, this I don't think. I feel like when you're rating these quarterbacks and you're heading into their draft year, I don't think it's not like hot take culture. You're basing it off what you've seen, tangibles and everything else, and that can change over the course of a year based on how you play. Correct?
No, I got you, but you know, we because we're talking about Nussmeier, right? That's you.
Well, I was talking about Klubnik, not Nussmeier.
But then also, but Nussmeier, right?
Nussmeier was there.
I ain't seen shit from Nussmeier in 2.5 years.
There you go.
And I'm an SEC guy.
And it's
you remember I laughed at you back in August. I said, "What?"
Yes.
I said, "What did you see that no one else has seen?"
The best part.
Did you see how he acted when the fake fist stomper, your boy Brian Kelly, took him out the game?
Boy.
How he pouted, and I've never seen anything out of Nussmeier. He's big. I'll give him that. He's big.
It's awesome. It's all subjective. Same way you've said Shedeur and Cam Ward, right? I mean, obviously Ramon heavily,
right?
Obviously Ramon heavily disagrees with that.
I just think it's different from this perspective, right? And I'm not some dang on quarterback guru, and I don't have all the answers, but I never saw anything out of Nussmeier. Yeah. Ever.
If Drew Aller, if this Penn State season didn't go how it did, Aller probably still. I still think Aller, you know, even if with how bad Penn State season even went, with his arm and everything else, I would take Drew Aller over Klubnik, over Beck, over Nussmeier.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Will Levis. That's who the hell Drew Aller reminds me of.
I don't see that. I see that with Beck more than anybody.
No, I'm talking about a guy with a bigger arm. Yeah. So I'm sorry, man.
That's fine.
This isn't the strongest quarterback class.
Not at all.
And if I need a quarterback, I'm looking to be creative. I even in this Mendoza, and I'm in Indiana. I love Mendoza. I love his character. I love how he celebrates his team. I love how he respects his opponents.
Yeah.
I can't take him number one, man.
Somebody showed me some stats, and obviously, and you know, I was talking about it with Jason today. They showed me Shedeur's stats from last year in college in Mendoza, and it's the passing yards. And I think Mendoza's at like 2,700 or something, and Shedeur's at 4,000. And I said, right, different conferences, different styles of play. Colorado didn't really have a run game. Indiana has a run game. Obviously, you know, people. And even now, like,
you ever heard of Andre Ware?
I have not.
Okay. Google him.
Okay, I'll Google him.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Okay.
Drafted, I think, number 2 overall by the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
Run and shoot. He's thrown for 3,800, 4,000 yards in the early 90s. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't give a damn how many yards a guy throws for. It means nothing. It means nothing. And I keep seeing these same dang on comparison. Well, how can you say Mendoza was a Heisman when this guy threw for more yards?
Yeah.
You serious? And people are real serious about that.
It's the same thing with the NFL where they're comparing these quarterback stats now to Manning, Phillip Rivers, and all these guys that were throwing for 4,000, 5,000 yards.
They got 17 games now, and hell, and then there used to be a 14-game season until
I don't know. When I grew up, it was 16. So
it was 14. I want to say early to mid 80s and went to 16. If I remember right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a little later. But my point being is, he threw for a lot of yards. The big argument this year for the Heisman. Look at Mendoza's pedestrian numbers. It's never been a yards trophy. It's been a quarterback trophy, usually on the best team with the best Heisman moment. If you remember what we talked about in August, and we said, well, who's your Heisman, Daryl? I said, I got to give it to Manning because I think he's going to be on the best team. He's got the biggest name, and he's got players around him. I felt like that would have been conducive for him winning the Heisman. Now, granted, they lost. I get all that, but my point being is, this is he threw for 4,800 yards. There you go. If you do that, take a look at the statistical data for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always go to the guy who throws the most yards, man.
Yeah.
Your team has to win. You got to have that Heisman moment, not just doing the Heisman pros, but a real moment, right?
Yeah.
And for me, and not to love on Mendoza, he had the Heisman moment, multiple. He had the one in Penn State. He had the one against Ohio State. His 2 big games. Then and also he went on the road and kicked the shit out of Oregon. So those are Heisman moments.
There you go, Brandon Reef, right there. Yep.
Yeah. I like it. I like the air. I
Hey,
like that.
Brandon, if you want to come join the show, come join the show. I'll send you an invite.
Like that,
Let me
right?
know.
Because that's what you got to look at, right? Well, he didn't throw for as many yards. So anybody who look, you know whose numbers are very similar?
Whose?
Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
And there's no way in the God bless it, blankety, blankety, blank, 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 I would, in my worst day, take Ty Simpson over Fernando Mendoza. Not even close.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the guy where I'm a little befuddled on. I don't see how I don't see how Simpson is a first round quarterback.
But you know why? He's a good dude. He's a likable guy. First thing he says, I like to thank my Savior Jesus, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Love it. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I love it. And these guys, they've been coached, man. Unfortunately, everybody's not coached, because if they were, you see that 5'7" Napoleon in Nashville, Tennessee, at Vanderbilt would take a little bit of a solace and see what other guys are doing. These guys they get coached at the beginning of the year, interviews, conversations, and all those things. One or two things are going to happen: either you're going to take the coaching or you're not. Mm-hmm. And if you can't take the coaching from a public perspective, from a public speaking perspective, what type of coaching are you going to take when you get to the league, when guys light you up like a Christmas tree?
Does it say something about Simpson for how long he's been at Bama and how long it took him to get the starting job?
Absolutely. Staying power, courage, commitment. The NFL loves that. They love that.
Yeah.
Now you got the polar opposite of the Napoleon, right? Mm-hmm. You bounce around, you're begging for another year. And they say, oh, there you go, hating on that guy again. I don't care. It's our damn show, and I'm just going to speak the truth. I don't like non-positive, disrespectful behavior towards your opponents. If you're doing that, I don't have any love for you, whoever you are. So with that said, that's why I think Ty Simpson is in that conversation. He says and does the right thing. After Florida State kicked the snot out of Alabama, he said all the right things. He stood up. They said he stayed. He sat behind Jalen Milroe. He sat behind other guys. And he says, man, this guy, he's staying power. His dad's a coach in Tennessee. All those things. Matter of fact, University of Tennessee Martin, by the way, if you know what I'm talking about, right? University of Tennessee Martin. Remember?
There you go.
So all those things, they line up to say he's going to be okay. I'm not saying he's going to be a bum. I just wouldn't take him over Mendoza in any dynamic.
Nope, I agree. Dante Moore as well, or is that a little closer for you?
I haven't seen nearly as much of Dante Moore as I've seen the others.
Okay, fair enough.
Oregon, I can't stay up. Man, I can't. I'm not staying till 11 o'clock at night on the Saturday night unless I got me a little sip of a little Bloody Mary or something. It's a little much, right?
There you go.
I'll watch the highlights.
Let's get to the title of the video. Nice little draft talk there. I can't help but talk about the draft a little bit as we get
pulled me in. You pulled me in.
as I try to do. Let's talk about what I have titled in the video: Niners, Seahawks, battle for the number 1 seed, battle for the NFC West. What's my catchphrase here? I said it in our preseason video a couple of months ago. I didn't expect the Seahawks to be this good, but I did say there's maybe a chance with Stafford being hurt. They may play just as well with Darnold at quarterback. We'll see. I'm going to give not only am I going to give credit to Darnold, right? He is one of 5 quarterbacks to have back-to-back 13 winning seasons. It's Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Brady, Rodgers, and him, which is just a crazy list. But I think it's more because of the rising play of Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's played absolutely phenomenal this year. He is one of the best receivers in the league this year. I'm not going to, obviously I said that and I had a couple people be like, well, what about Puka Nacua? What about this? I'm not saying he was. I'm saying he was one of.
Rays, I was on the Puka bandwagon.
Yeah.
That was me.
I'm not saying Puka hasn't played well. I just said, and Jigba's been.
Man, your camera looks great, year. Man. Hey, that's me. I'm like, I thought mine was good, man. You.
Hey, it was like $50, not that bad for $50. But it's gonna be a great game. It'll be on Saturday night, and not only that, Daryl, that same night you get Buccaneers and Panthers battle for the NFC South as well. What are your expectations heading into this one? Who do you have winning? And what do you have to say to all the Seahawks fans that jumped you on that clip a couple of days ago who told you, man, how are you not bought into the Seattle team?
Man, hey, here's the deal.
Hold on. To all our Seattle fans, I have done nothing but praise Seattle week over week. I am bought in. Give me the Seahawks on Saturday night. They're going to beat Fraud Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers.
Let me tell you this. I looked back at that video because I was feeling some kind of way, right? Dude, I said, I paused. You said, are you buying or selling? I paused, said, I said, well, I may have to sell right now. I think they're a good team. I think they've got some good depth. I said, I think the reason why I didn't buy them was because of the quarterback. Because I saw him play at the end of last season. I saw him wet the bed.
Yeah.
He's been in the league. This is year 8. And there's a reason why he's been with 5 teams. We can play games all we want.
One of those teams is the team he's playing against Saturday night.
I got you. What I'm saying is Seattle is a hell of a team. They've got a good defense. Matter of fact, their back end on defense is really good as someone catches a pass over the middle. Their back end is really good, right? Yeah. But with that said, man, I got to have that I want to buy moment. And I haven't had that I want to buy moment yet, right? I don't think they're bums or anything like that. I think any team in the NFC they can beat. I do.
I agree.
However, I like the 49ers and the Rams a little bit more. I just do. I just do. Why? Here's why. Because first of all, the Rams, they've got a quarterback who's done it. They got a coach who's basically practically a genius.
Fun fact as well, there's a stat that Stafford and the Rams have that a lot of the other teams in the playoffs currently right now just don't have. I forgot what it was, but there's a stat I have to go and find it. There's a stat that the Rams have specifically that a lot of the other teams don't in out of all the playoff teams, which I just found very interesting.
And the thing is, right? So the 2 teams I have in front of them in the NFC are those 2 teams. Now, I still love the Eagles. They won ugly. I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. But they've got opportunities. If they get behind 10 points, it's going to be tough, man, because they have not put themselves in position to open the offense up all year. Who? They just haven't done it. The Eagles. So that's why I like the Rams and the 49ers above the Seahawks. But then I like the Seahawks, and right there, just underneath them, I like the Bears. Why? After the Bears, after Seahawks, because they've got a second-year quarterback, and you saw that game yesterday. There are opportunities he had that he missed. Mm-hmm. I just think I think Caleb Williams is going to be a hell of an NFL player. I think he's going to be a superstar.
I do too.
With that said, he's in year 2. He still has some growing to do.
Yeah.
Right. And again, they've had injuries at the receivers. Rome Odunze was out again. He's basically out for the rest of the season. If you didn't have Luther Burden, I don't know what the hell they'd have. Right. So that's what I'm saying. So I say the Bears right behind the Seahawks, but the Seahawks just a nip behind the 49ers and the Rams because they've got quarterbacks that played in big games in January.
Yep.
And I go back to the Philadelphia Eagles and the 49ers game when Purdy hurt his arm. They would have beat the Eagles that game. They were ready to have them, right? So I just think, the NFC is tight. Yes, the Seahawks. Look at their record, man. They're 13-3. That's freaking awesome.
And there's quality wins in that, where a lot of the teams in the AFC
huge quality wins.
Yeah, where a lot of the teams in the AFC at the top, these two right here, there's some quality wins in there a little bit, but
yeah, but for me, and again, I don't have any proof of this. Denver just feels like a one and done. I just feel like they're gonna go. They're gonna be at home.
They're lucky they're getting a divisional. They're lucky they're getting.
I just feel again. Could they go to the Super Bowl and win it? Hell yeah, they could. My gut just tells me,
no,
man, there's something missing.
Yep.
I don't know what's missing.
For me in the NFC, I have the Rams first. I really think the Rams are the team to beat this year in the NFC. I actually have Seattle in second place as of right now. I really like Seattle compared to a lot of other people. Third, I have Chicago. Fourth, I have Philadelphia. There's something about Philadelphia, and the more and more we've talked about it, and the more and more it just kind of feels like they're teetering. They're teetering on the balance of the glass ceiling starting to break on them.
Well, here's the deal, man. You go into Buffalo in December after Christmas and win the game. I don't give a damn if the Buffalo kicker missed the extra point or Josh missed his receiver in the end zone by you got to win. I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty.
I get it. I just think when we get to playoff time, I'm not as confident in this team as I was at the beginning of the season where I said,
dude, you said it wasn't close. You said Eagles in a runaway.
I said it's the Eagles and there's everybody else. But there's been a lot that has happened to this Eagles team over the course of 8 months.
And it starts with number 11. And you can say what you want, and I'm never going to say his name on this show. But I'm just sick and tired. Every time something happens with Jalen, they pan to number 11. To look at his reaction, and then when they try to prioritize him on the offense, I remember he talked about earlier year. I want to just help my team win when they were winning. Go back to the stats. His biggest game this year took a L.
Mm-hmm.
Took a L.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
And you can see if I'm the quarterback, I don't care how cool, calm, and collected Jalen is. It's got to eat at you inside. Because if you don't get this guy the ball, there's going to be questions from the media. You're in Philadelphia. There's questions there. You're going to have the body language of your receiver. And you're going to have people saying, all you had to do is get it to that guy, number 11. I almost said his name. I just think that's a recipe for bad things. And I think when the adversity hits, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles will fold like a cheap paper plate.
I think the Eagles, Saquon saved their ass last year against the Rams in Philly when it was snowing. I don't think the Rams are going to fall short. I think the Rams can get to the Super Bowl. They're my pick to come out of the NFC. I think you make a great point with Chicago and Seattle fans. I'm not saying that I don't buy you. I think you guys.
Hey man, you ain't gotta be apologizing, no damn Seattle fan. You said what you said.
Harold, you got to take it easy, all right? You're in hot water over there in Seattle, Washington. You got to.
I said they're a good team.
You got to be crazy to doubt Seattle. I've got Seattle in my second slot in the NFC right now.
Chicago, isn't that doubt?
Chicago third.
That's doubt.
It's not doubt. It's not doubt. If I've got you second, it means I think you've got a really good shot to maybe even get to the Super Bowl, but I like the Rams a little bit more. And I don't think Seattle fans necessarily disagree with me on that. They probably think the Rams are a good team. Now it's a division rival, so they hate them. That's fine. I hate the Eagles.
You look a little shook, man. You
okay? I'm excited.
You want to take a break? You want to take
a break? I'm excited to watch.
Were there black SUVs out in front of your house last night?
Look. If you look behind me, I've got the LeBron.
Was there Seattle black SUVs?
Actually, LeBron came to my house and he said, "Look, all that crap you've been talking. I heard you got the 4K camera. I need your collectibles front and center. So I've got them. I got them off the shelves today, mainly to block. It's mainly to block all the junk on my dresser right there. So I got the Funko out in front of it to block it. But as I was saying, Daryl, I'm excited to watch the Eagles collapse, right? I'm not an Eagles fan. You know how much it killed me at the start of the year to say it's the Eagles and everybody else?
Man, don't be wishing bad things on the Eagles. What did they do to you?
I want the Eagles to fail. You know how
much
much
they do to you?
They're in my division, Daryl. I have no choice. You think I want?
Where's your division? Who's your division?
I don't. The Eagles. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Who is your team in that division?
Look right over there. You look right over here. Right over there. Right there. All right.
Hey, but you've been dragging them for the last 2 weeks. Man, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna start calling you. I'm gonna start calling you fish. I'm gonna start calling you fish.
No,
you flip flop more than I don't know what you get you out of the water. You're just all over the place.
With Dallas, it's very, very true. With the Lakers, I'm able to stay the course because they
talking
don't let
football. Look at the screen. We're talking.
Listen, they don't let me down. We can talk about Dallas, but all I'm saying is, as a Cowboys fan, I hope New York bombs their draft pick. I hope the Commanders are never successful. And I hope the Eagles just collapse. And same thing for the Niners. I don't want the Niners to win, but I'm not going to sit here and say I think the Niners are one of the teams you don't want to see in the playoffs right now. That I will openly out and say that. I want them to fail just as much as I want the Eagles to fail. But I'm not going to come on here and say stuff that just isn't true. Everyone is talking about Jalen Hurts can't throw the football because he didn't pass the ball in the second half. No, Jalen Hurts everyone's like, that's why Jalen Hurts isn't a top 10 quarterback. I wouldn't come on here and say that because I know that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback and I can respect the caliber of quarterback that he is. Doesn't mean I want to see him win a Super Bowl as a Cowboys fan. Absolutely not. But I'm not going to come on here and say that blasphemy because I have such a great co-host that'll check me when I'm wrong the same way I will check him when he is wrong, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
There you go, right?
100%.
Exactly.
So with that said, I think we agree that the NFC has more teams that we think could be Super Bowl champions than the AFC.
Yes.
So Seattle fans, I want y'all to hear. Look, I'm looking to the camera. Seattle fans.
There you go. There you go.
I believe Seattle, 49ers, Rams.
I disagree. Rams
are all capable.
Eagles
in the Super Bowl.
Eagles.
I said I'm sorry.
You only said 3.
Okay. And the Eagles because they're Super Bowl champions, right?
Yeah.
I don't think the Bears can. I think they're a year or so away.
Year away. That's fine.
But the other thing, I think they can, but things have to go right for them. Yep. Just like what it would last year with Philly, right? You just talked about Saquon, saving them in the snow. Something has to go right for those things to happen, right? If it's a fumble, if it's a strip sack, all those things come into play. And then at the end of the day, what happened? So yes, Seattle fans, hey, they're coming on. They're coming on, absolutely. But be careful. Sam Darnold may go back to being Sam Darnold at some point. What? And then we got Eli. Eli, come on. Give me the boo. Give him the boo. Give him the boo. Give him the boo.
To be fair, Daniel Jones got hurt, so we never got to get to the end of that point to really have a good
I don't care. You can't start off 8-2 and not win another game. Sorry, I'm not.
Daniel Jones got hurt. I'm not even gonna spend time talking about the Colts.
So with that said, we think the NFC has more team. AFC, one of the things we all like to pat ourselves in the back. Hey, I said this team.
Yeah.
The 2 teams, 3 and 5 right there.
Yeah.
I spoke about them early on in the season, and Jaguars were given up for dead when the Rams kicked them in the ass overseas, if you remember. The Texans were given up for dead after starting off with 4 losses out of their first 6 games.
Let's switch over to the AFC. When I look at the AFC, right now, it's going to be interesting, right? Because literally just yesterday, we'll see because the standings aren't updated yet. If you still see here, it says the Bears got to play the Niners. This stuff is not updated yet because Monday Night Football is still ongoing. So we will see. The Bills lost. The Chargers won, right? Did they beat Houston? No, they lost. So I think this stays the same. Chargers stay 6th, Bills stay 7th. So that means the Chargers would play Jacksonville. The Bills would play the Patriots. I mean, those are 2 great matchups. And not only that, You got the teams from warmer parts of the country playing each other, 2 teams from the colder parts of the country playing each other. It's not this whole the team from Cali has to go play in the snow or something like that. You kind of get some even matchups for the wild card. It's not a bad thing. Obviously I came on here yesterday and I said if it's over 55 degrees in Foxborough, the Chargers are going to win. Now I don't have to even worry about that because they're going to. It looks like
I think we did a clip on that too about a fact, and
I have the clip ready. I don't think I uploaded it yet.
Over and over and over.
I don't think I've uploaded it yet, but I have it ready to go.
I saw it. I think you did. I think you did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Hey, I'm very confident in the Chargers, and when I look at it right now,
you're confident in the Chargers.
When I look at it right now, only team in the AFC that I don't think has a shot is Denver. Denver's done when Broncos fans haven't got to us like the Seahawks fans yet, but I'll look in the camera and say it. Denver, every team in the AFC is better than you, and you've had a weak schedule to get to this point. You've won most of your games off a field goal. I think Bo Nix is tremendous, and I did not expect that from Bo Nix when he got drafted. I said, okay, Sean Payton got his guy. Congrats to Sean Payton. I'm not even necessarily hating on Sean Payton as much as my co-partner has done on the show. I just don't buy the Denver.
How is it Hayden speaking the truth?
I'm not saying. Listen.
Towards other players and coaches.
All I'm saying is, I don't buy the Denver Broncos. I think whoever you play in the next round, whether it's Buffalo, the Chargers, the Texans, the Patriots, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think when you play against those guys, I think you're going to lose. Simple as that. And
we got a week to go. There's going to be a whole lot of flour being sifted over this next week.
All right, yeah, and we're addressing this now because, I saw this yesterday. I didn't see, there was no explanation behind the clip. All it was, tell Hoffman I got
Can we get JB on? Brandon, have JB get on, please.
I don't understand everyone's infatuation with
whoa.
Everyone is so fascinated.
What did you just say? Everyone's what?
I can't listen. Let me speak. All right. Everyone is so
infatuation. Let me look this up. Infatuation.
I appreciate everyone taking my word for gospel as the last couple of weeks have gone on about. It's something about when I talk about LA teams, you guys just seem to like warp onto me, and you guys are like, well, you guys are like buzzing bees when I start to talk about LA teams, whether it's the Lakers or the Chargers. Maybe I need to talk about the Rams, and maybe I'll get some more attention. But Daryl, I gotta ask. I mean, everybody's jumping me about the Chargers. What's wrong with my guy Justin Herbert? You lose a game to the Texans, a hot Houston Texans team, 7 games in a row. They've gotten their way to basically almost winning the division. And everyone's like, well, there's Justin Herbert again. You lose to a hot Texans team. You're still in the playoffs. There's nothing wrong here. He's gonna listen. He's gonna sit out.
I didn't say nothing.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for it. He's gonna sit out for week 18. He's gonna get well rested.
They benched him. That's not. He got benched because of his poor play last week.
His poor play last week.
He got benched. Harbaugh benched him.
Am I talking to Daryl or Skip Bayless? Because that we're not. I thought we were in a hot take show. I don't know about getting benched. All right, so Max Crosby got benched. I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Hey man, all I'm just saying is this. You spoke about your boy. I get it.
Listen,
you keep saying they ran into a hot Texan. I don't get. They still got 11 players to play. Every team plays 11 defenders. I don't want to hear that.
And we're acting like the Chargers lost 21-0. They lost by what? 4 points?
I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. Damn, they're not pretty loss. It's still a loss.
Okay, that's fine.
Own it. You got to own it, man.
Okay.
Listen, I'm telling you now.
And I'm sitting here and I'm owning the loss.
I'm not a Justin Herbert hater.
Oh, really?
I'm a trooper. I'm a trooper. But I'm telling you now, you better get on your hands and knees after next week and just pray to whomever, to all the six dogs in the kennel. Say, please give me a 350-yard game with 3 touchdowns, no picks, no fumble. You better pray, because I'm telling you now, If he wets the bed again, like he's done, Daryl Payton.
So I'm gonna start calling you and you start saying
If,
blasphemy on the show.
if he wets the bed again, like he's done, I'm telling you, JB's probably, matter of fact, I'm gonna go pick JB up and we come into the house.
You're gonna come to the kettle. Okay.
You better hope your boy balls out. I'm just telling you.
If the Chargers, if the Chargers win their wild card game, it eviscerates a little bit of the wild card loss he had a couple of years ago. If he loses that game, I will come on here and I will publicly apologize to Daryl, JB. I will come on. I will publicly apologize. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'll wear somebody's jersey because I ain't doing that. But I will come on here. I'll publicly apologize. I will say this, and I already said it. If they have to play on the wild card, if they've got to go to New England and it's 20 degrees and it's snowing, well, I'm gonna clearly know the result of the ball game at that point, right? I'm not. I said that when I said, but if it's over 50 degrees and it's not, and wind chill isn't -2 and it's not snowing, Chargers got a shot. Chargers can win. If it's 10 degrees out,
it sounds like you laying some mattresses down for a soft fall. That's what it sounds like you're saying.
Well,
50 degrees and not raining, not snow. Yeah. How many mattresses you got there to soften that fall, man?
All I want Justin Herbert to be in a comfortable environment so he can go out there and continue to shape the narrative that I've been building for him all season, right? I have been on the Justin Herbert publicity train ever since this podcast or network has gotten started. And all I've done is help prop up guys that I want to support. And Justin Herbert is one of those guys, man.
You have absolutely, you know what? You hit the nail right on the head. You just said prop up guys that I support. You said all the things. I'm telling you, man. I listen.
I'm just showing love to a guy that since day one, when he was entered for the draft, I said Justin Herbert, when Andrew Luck retired, it's the guy the Colts need to get. I said wherever Justin Herbert goes, he is going to be great. I've said this from day one. You can ask my stepdad. You can ask him this. I have been a Justin Herbert supporter since day one. And I remember his first couple games in the league, Jason came to me and he said, "Man, you knew about Justin Herbert the whole time." And I said, "Yes, I did." He's had one playoff game, and I admit it's a horrible way to lose. 27-0, you choke it. Okay, it's time to right that wrong, right? You're in the playoffs. This is a big chance to right that wrong. And I get it. I'm in a win or nothing scenario because, like you just said, if they lose by 1 point, it's going to be, Justin Herbert didn't get it done. Maybe that'll change. Maybe he throws for 300 yards, 4 TDs, and they still lose in a shootout with whoever they play. And maybe you have a change of opinion. But for me and all the 6 other Charger fans, we have to get this win on Sunday because Cowboys aren't in the playoffs. My guy Joe Burrow's not in the playoffs. It all rides on number 10 for me right now in this moment. Let's go, Chargers. Bolt up. I'm ready. We're going to be ready to go wild card weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm ready,
boys and girls.
If that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what does.
The Isaiah Hoffman.
There you go.
I gotta give you credit, man. You pine for your guy. You're gonna die on that hill.
I'm going.
And just understand, be prepared to die on that hill.
Hold on. I'll be right. Hold on. Let me go. Hold on. Let me grab it. You see this sword? I'm willing to fall on it for Justin Herbert. I'm willing to fall on the sword for Justin Herbert, no matter what.
Hey, whatever works, man. Whatever works, right?
I'm ready to go to war, and then after that, we'll go to the Bahamas to celebrate. I'm ready to go to war. I just need one playoff win to right the wrongs of the wild card loss.
You know what?
Give me one.
I know I had about 3 or 4 other topics I want to hit. I've completely lost all sight and thought about other things I wanted to hit on. I think I wanted to talk about something that I don't even remember what the hell it was.
Hey, I do want to ask you, out of all these AFC teams, who is your favorite? Man, it's like I want to say New England, but a sneaky part of me is like, man, it's Buffalo's conference.
Look at the quarterback play, right? You got look Chargers, young quarterback, Texans, young quarterback, Jaguars, young quarterback, Denver Broncos, young quarterback, New England, young quarterback. There's only one veteran quarterback. I mean, the veterans, one seasoned veteran quarterback. And that's your guy in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. Aaron Rodgers, if they make the playoffs for Pittsburgh, right? But with that said, I don't think anybody thinks that Pittsburgh, aka the Brandon Reef Steelers, have any chance of getting past the first game either, right? So this I saw this either on a show that said, you know, the Buffalo quarterback doesn't have the best offense this year, doesn't have the best defense, hasn't had the best numbers, but maybe this is his best chance based on who he's not going up against. He's not going up against a juggernaut quarterback in any scenario. And what I mean by that is a guy who's done it at a high level, like with Mahomes, even to the point where Jackson, granted, he hasn't got a Super Bowl, but he's got multiple MVPs, right? So with that said, this is your boy Josh's best opportunity. Doesn't have the best offense, doesn't have the best defense, but maybe, just maybe, this is his best chance. And I've heard that. I don't know if it was on what show it was on, and I said, yeah, that's a good point, because the defense is not very good, the offense is mid. He's had to run a lot more this year than he had in prior years, if I remember right. So yeah, this is Josh's opportunity.
You see that you see that Superman poster? That's Josh Allen right there.
Well, tell you what,
that's Superman.
He's been Clark Kent the last few years in deep playoffs. So yeah, he better put his cape on. Well, if he doesn't do it this year, Isaiah.
Yeah.
I can't help.
Lex Luthor's in Arkham, so he better get it done. Lex Luthor's in Arkham, or getting his ACL fixed, and he's gonna be back. He's gonna be back with Bizarro Superman, aka Jeremiah Smith, in a couple of years. So he better be ready to go. Josh Allen better get it done. That's all I've got to say. I'm telling you, man, there's a sneaky suspicion. I have a sneaky suspicion about Jacksonville. There's been so much, and we even talked about it in our preseason about, Trevor Lawrence. It felt like the walls were starting to close in on Trevor Lawrence. And
last 6 games, he's been a monster.
There's a sneaky suspicion, right? Trevor Lawrence in high school, he never really lost. College, he never really lost. This is the one part of his career where he has experienced a lot of losing. There's a part of me that just that thinks we may be seeing Jacksonville go to the Super Bowl. I think, and as much as and as much as people want to say, oh, but New England. I really like Vrabel, but Vrabel, every time he got to the AFC Championship, he couldn't get it done with those Tennessee teams. I think Drake May is a way better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill ever was, and that's no offense to Ryan Tannehill. He had a great career. May's a little inexperienced. You've got some nice vets on the roster. I'm not gonna sit there and deny that. And Vrabel's a hell of a head coach, but a part of me really likes Trevor Lawrence. And at the end of the day, it's a quarterback league, right? And that's why I think you make a great case about Seattle and Darnold. I really like Trevor Lawrence. And man, we talk about defense. Houston's probably got the best defense out of everybody in the playoffs.
I think we would. The consensus would be Houston, right? The way they play ball, right?
I'm not saying they're the favorites, but I think
I'm talking about defense. The challenge for them is their inconsistent young quarterback.
Out of every team in the NFL in the playoffs, I think they've got the best defense. Seattle probably is right behind them, and then there's some other teams in there as well.
They're top 3 or 4. Yep.
Houston's got.
I don't know what their statistical information is, but just from the eye test, I would say Seattle's probably 3 or 4 in defense.
Houston's got the best defense for sure for me, and it's going to come down to their offense. Whereas, that's where That's why I have a lot of belief in the Chargers, because I know their offense will be potent. Same thing with Buffalo. Jacksonville, they've been hot, but there's always that chance they could go on a cold spell. I'm really curious to see. I think for me right now, it's Houston, it's the Chargers, it's the Patriots, and the Bills. But if you told me to put those teams in an order, I just can't right now. I really can't. Once we're done with Week 18 and things have played out and we know what the matchups are, that's when we can hopefully break down this bracket. We all do our full bracket predictions. But man, it's anybody's race on both sides. My favorite in the NFC is the Rams. My favorite in the AFC is TBD, to be determined. I have no clue right now.
Well, we'll see what happens, man. But it's going to be a nice ride. This coming up week, we got some compelling matchups. Of course, you've got Carolina and Tampa Bay. You've got the Texans playing at home against the Colts. They've got something to play for still. Of course, you got the Eagles. They still are trying to right their ship, right? I think this coming weekend is going to have some good games, some compelling matchups, and then some stressful matchups as well.
Yeah, man, it's going to be good. It's going to be good for sure. I've truly enjoyed this season. The pod has made me enjoy football a little more than I usually do. I think, like I said, when we started the pod, I was like, man, I would rest my football season on Dallas. And once they started being Dallas, I stopped kind of watching and I'm still the same way, like there's an NBA game on and there's NFL games on, I'm watching the NFL on Sundays, but other than that, Monday night football, Thursday night football, I probably have the NBA on rather than the NFL, where we're different on that, but we need that perspective to kind of make this podcast a full on show. So it works out. It's going to be fun. I cannot wait for what the rest of the season has to unfold. Daryl, hell of a show. 10:44. You gave me an hour, so nice. You gave me an hour of show. Welcome to man. I'm gonna switch the graphics to after hours real quick, man. You gave me an after hour show tonight.
It's all good, man. I just got word from who I was going against in my Super Bowl. He did a text and says, I'd like to thank D. Cott for giving me the opportunity to win my championship. Me and this guy has been in the championship 3 years. This puts him up. No, it's actually 4. We're 2-2. He's got me twice, and I've got him twice. So I did not win my Super Bowl. No, I didn't want to look at this crap. But that damn Bijan Robinson touchdown of 93 yards sealed my fate. So no, I really don't like Atlanta now. So yeah.
I was very wrong about Atlanta. So
it happens. It happens. All good, man. All good. It's been a good show. Another great fantasy football season. Listen, man. Second place doesn't go away empty-handed. I put it to you that way. And this is a cash league. So I'm not overly hurt.
Was there a punishment?
Nah. This not. We're adult men, man. We don't do that stuff. No. Old D-Cot's gonna be out. Tell you what, I'll buy you a lemonade on Wednesday. Oh, we got to share. So yes, Wednesday night.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Go ahead and promote that though.
Wednesday night, the Game Time Network is going to be at Gamers Life Fieldhouse. Pacers play Orlando at 3 p.m., which is New Year's Eve. Immediately after that, we have an opportunity with our good friend Scott Moore, head coach of NAIA, number 1 ranked team in the country, Grace College. We've been invited to slide down, watch the game from the floor. I was chatting with Mr. Moore today, and we're going to do a t-shirt / hoodie swap. So we're going to get some Grace College gear, and needless to say, we're going to share a little bit with Coach Moore, some of the game time stuff. We're going to have that. So we're going to have that. We'll be taking some pictures. We'll have probably a couple of cameos, probably take some selfies, and we'll take a lot of pictures on the court as we're experiencing the game and everything like that. So we look forward to Wednesday. And it's really good that what we've done from this perspective and reaching out to people who we would not have maybe got contact with. Coach Moore, obviously Coach Hester with IU East. Obviously we've got Alford has been on with us as well, and others. So it's been really good. So Wednesday's going to be good. It's New Year's Eve. I'm not a partier like I used to be anyway. So the plan is to be back home no later than 9:30, man.
Whoa. Now we got, we'll stay until about 10 o'clock, 10:30.
I said 9:30. I give you 10, but it's good, man. I was just talking about Coach Moore, and we're gonna do the t-shirt jersey swap, so which will be good. We'll take a lot of pictures and everything. So yeah, we're pretty fired up about that for sure.
No, it's gonna be fun. We've had Mayor on the show twice. We've had Hester on the show an abundance of times. Hester and the guys got to win tonight over Crowley's Ridge, so big ups to them. We've got a doubleheader on Saturday. I actually broadcasted for the women today. They got a big win. So everything's looking good for the Game Time Network. I want to thank you guys for all the love and support. Obviously, this new camera, I had to replace my mic. A lot of that wouldn't have been possible without you guys. So thank you for all that, man. This camera looks good, don't it?
Good deal, for sure.
It's been a great show. Thank you guys for watching. Late night show did pretty good. We had a good amount of viewers watching tonight. But that's going to do it, folks. We will be back more than likely on Friday. So you will have clips going up. Hopefully, McCott's Corner. I got to get an after hours episode up talking about the NBA. So we'll get all that up for you this week, folks. That's going to do it. We'll see you guys on Friday for another edition of Game Time Live. But for now, you're watching the Game Time Network.